Hey everybody, this is Ryan with Escotech, and this is a screen replacement video for an HP DM4-3055dx laptop. First thing I'm going to do is take off the two covers for the screws on the bottom of the bezel. There's one on the right side here, and then there's one on the left. Easiest way to do this is typically take a sharp razor or knife and get behind the cover. It's usually just a sticky piece of plastic or rubber that goes over it. You just take it off and leave it on your knife and stick it somewhere you won't forget it. And then you can do the same on the other side. And as you can see, they can be kind of stubborn sometimes. Just be careful not to cut them. They should usually go back on pretty easy. And here's the second one on the left, off the left side. And I almost forgot, what should have been my first step is to make sure you take out the battery, and obviously don't have any AC power to the laptop. Any current can do damage to your screen or your graphics card when you disconnect any cables. And now you can go ahead and just kind of work your fingernails in behind the bezel and kind of twist and pull at the same time. And find a good place that comes off kind of easy and make that your starting point, and then you can just kind of start working around the screen. And again, a soft twisting and pulling motion at the same time. Don't force anything, and all the clips on the back will pop off, but they'll stay together in one piece. And I'm going to speed this part up to keep the video a little shorter. Just work it around nice and easy, and don't break any clips, and be careful not to break the bezel. And be sure to take out the screws at the bottom, the two on the corners. I almost forgot this. Glad I remembered before I started pulling on the bezel at the bottom. So probably best to take these out right after you take the covers off. And on the bottom, you just kind of have to work your finger in behind and slide from the left to the right. There's usually some double-sided sticky tape behind the bezels on most laptops. This one seems to have a couple pieces on the outsides. You just kind of work your way through and then pop that off, and then usually the bottom bezel will come up pretty easy. And you can take a look at your clips and make sure everything looks good. If you have any broken ones, sometimes you can glue them pretty easy, but these seem to be in pretty good shape. Be sure to set your bezel somewhere flat and safe so it doesn't get stepped on or broken. And the next step will be just to take off the screws. This screen doesn't have any bracket to it. It just screws straight into the frame of the laptop. And there's one screw on each corner on this one. So it's easiest just to pull down from the top and drop the screen straight down so you can get to the back connector. And now you can take your knife or a flathead screwdriver and lift the piece of tape over the connector and pull that up very carefully. And then you can usually kind of use that to slide your connector to the bottom of the screen and off. So now we'll get rid of our old damaged screen and we'll grab the new one that we bought from laptopscreen.com. And we're switching this one from glossy to matte just because mostly the matte screen was a couple bucks cheaper and the user uses it outside sometimes. And now you can just take the connector on the LVDS cable and hook it back up to the back of the new screen and just push the tape back down on top of it. This one did have a small locking clip that just kind of folds over with the connector, and then fold it up and line it back up with the clips. And now you can go ahead and put your 4 screws back in. I'll speed this part up again for the sake of keeping this video short. And now's the best time to go ahead and pull off the protective cover. Now before I start putting the bezel back on, I'll usually do a quick boot of the screen just to test it, make sure everything's working, and there's no reason to do it twice if we don't have to. Go ahead and put the battery in and I'll power it up and we'll make sure the screen boots up and looks good. And it looks good so far. So basically just wait until the screen loads all the way in, then I'll go ahead and start putting the bezel back on. Easiest to drop in the bottom to line it up a little bit, and then just kind of start going around the top again. And then just go ahead and keep working your way around the outsides of the bezel and push down kind of firmly. Sometimes a little back and forth motion will help snap things in. And go ahead and put your screws back on and the screw covers. Sometimes they're kind of a trick just to get lined up and pushed down. So I'll use a knife to put it on the tip again, and then sometimes use a finger or screwdriver just to line it up. And sometimes the bottom of the screen is a little hard to get to, so it's best just to close the laptop and kind of go around the back and check by the hinge. The easiest way to usually get those pop back in. Get it all lined up, and then you can kind of push down a little bit firmly to get these to all snap again and get a nice tight fit. And then just go around the edges and make sure all of your sides are fitting snugly. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and any questions, feel free to ask in the comments.